totalitarianism is all about, you know everything that there is to know, and this is what it is. And so you cannot grow. And that's when things begin to die. Things fall apart. Why shouldn't you lie? Because things fall apart.
The lie don't care who tell it, but the truth will always set those who need it free. Welcome to another episode of As a Man Readeth. This is Trey D.
And Goolsby.
And we have another episode for you. We are still in the book, 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. We are on chapter 7.
Yep.
7 this time.
Come on, Trey. Come on.
I know. I got you. Man, it's early. It's early probably everywhere. I don't know about you, but it's early on this side of town.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah. You. I will say for you. Okay. So the rule 7 is pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. And so that's what I did this morning when Trey changed the time on me this morning. He said, "Hey man, can we meet at 6:40? Can we be done by 6:45 Pacific time?" I'm like, huh? I said, "Is it AM or PM?"
Yeah, I'm like, wait, yeah. I said, yeah. You talking about 0645? I said,
right.
0645. He was like, oh, okay,
yeah. I didn't want to believe it. I was just like, okay.
That's what it was. Like,
man.
I haven't even had my shake yet.
You know? Right. I'm up here drinking water.
No, I'm still on water. I haven't even had. I got to do it in a couple of minutes. So as soon as we finish up, I'll have my breakfast. But man, it's great. I think this is a great rule to start us off, man. You know, he starts off with life is suffering. That's clear. There's no more basic and irrefutable. No, I can't talk right now. This is how it happens.
You say irrefutable. I'm with you.
Irrefutable truth. It's basic. It's basically what God tells Adam and Eve immediately before he kicks them out of paradise.
He got their ass out. He kicked their ass out. See, that's the thing about God in this. Like, okay, let me just set the tone. Whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in the Bible or not, or whatever. I'm coming from the story aspect of it. Just that's where I'm coming from. Belief or no belief. But God was like, okay, I told y'all not to do one thing. You could even eat from the tree of life if you wanted, but you want to eat from the tree of good and evil. He's like, first of all, kicking your ass out. So he said, for the woman, you will conceive. How did he say it? He said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and conception, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That is your punishment, right? That's what you get. That's your consequence, right? And then the rest is for the dude. Like, he was like, let me just go and get you out of the way. Sorrow, conception, and you got to listen to this guy. And then for the dude, he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Yeah. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. And thou shalt eat the herb of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until your return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And Adam like, well, damn.
And he's still doing this. Don't forget, he's still doing this. It was the woman that gave me. The woman that you gave me, Lord, it was her.
You're right.
He's still in that mode too. Like he's still like, so it's a very interesting good way to start. Good way to start.
It's a good way to start, but what Jordan is doing, man, let me tell you, man, he is teaching us how to decode the words of the Bible. Like, okay, so we know that story. Everybody who's probably listening to whether they're religious or not probably know the story of Adam and Eve and getting kicked out of paradise. And so I feel like for the first time when I heard this story, I was like, you're in a particular place, and now you're getting kicked out into a new place where you're going to have to work, and going back to what Trey was saying, suffer. They have no idea what this suffering thing is. It's like, oh, it's actually working. And I don't know why that didn't click to me before. Like, you got to go work. So now they're going into this godless place like Gotham City or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is it's dark and you got to go do stuff.
Yep. Yeah. He puts you in a very interesting place, but I think. Did you notice how he had? There's an excerpt from the Book of Wisdom. Have you ever read the Book of Wisdom? So that is one that didn't make it into the canon. It's in the Apothecary. So if you could find the Book of Wisdom, I think you would really enjoy it. Well, you may enjoy it. I don't really know, but I hope you know you get something from it.
Right.
But it's a cool non-canon book, non-canonical book that you can probably that you can pick up. So if you find you can find it. It's all over there. There's a lot of them that if you just want to go back and start reading some old text, man, it gets crazy. But so he talks. So there's a section in here that he talks about the delay of gratification too, and I think that's where it kind of like starts to lean in even more about pursuing what is meaningful, because a lot of times not necessarily just what is expedient. So how do you live for? I mean, you can be present, but not just live for now. If that makes sense. Right, and I think he lifts that up and really high in this space as well on these pages too. What did you see?
Yeah, well, when you say delay of gratification, you just saying that just popped a whole new idea. I was like, wow, the paradox of living in the now, but also being aware that there's a later.
Yeah.
But you have to stay here to get what is next, because the future never comes, because it's always now. That makes sense. Yeah. So that's an interesting paradox. The delay of gratification is after they got kicked out. Now, what is the first thing that we all learn, right? So it comes to the suffering. Like suffering begins because there's also work involved, because in order to get what you want, you kind of have to delay the gratification, because you can pick out, like he was saying, man, you go out and well, he didn't say this, but can you just imagine being in a new place, a new time, and just being like, okay, now I gotta find food. There's this living thing over here. I guess I gotta kill it. To figure that out first, they gotta figure that out. This tastes good. You get it. Now do you gorge on it? Do you gorge on this hog? And then you don't have any for later, or do you learn how to save that thing? But like just thinking about how man had to create, what, no matter what you believe, how did you even come up with these concepts of keeping these things? But delayed gratification, I think, is a great technology for man to move forward.
I like that. He says, first question. What must be sacrificed? Small sacrifices may be sufficient to solve small singular problems, but it's possible that larger, more comprehensive sacrifices might solve an array of large and complex problems, all at the same problem. That's harder, but it might be better. Adapting to the necessary discipline of medical school will, for example, fatally interfere with the lifestyle of a hardcore undergraduate party animal. Giving that up is a sacrifice. So sacrifices are necessary to improve the future, and larger sacrifices can be better.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I think kind of getting, you know what? Side note, and I know we brought a little random today, but Genesis was like the first episode of Naked and Afraid. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, we've seen it. We watched that a little bit.
Yeah, you know, because at some point, you know, Adam started to like hide. He started to hide from God in the garden, and he's just naked and afraid. That we're reading the episode of Naked and Afraid. That's my dad joke. Christian dad joke for the morning. Anyway,
that's funny.
But yeah, man. I was just thinking about, he kind of leans into this idea of using sacrifice. I think, you know, being able to give up things. So like the what we said earlier was, you know, thinking about how do we live in the now, but not just for the now. That makes sense. Right. And I think that's probably a very complex, what keeps us out of this space of like being hedonistic, where we're taking it all in, we gorge ourselves, we fall into our own lusts, of our eyes, our love, whatever it may be, without, perspective or even seeing without even, any relation to what may happen tomorrow.
Right.
So it does put you in an interesting place of like, how do you stay centered, but also be prepared for what's next?
Yeah, it's like that gauge, man. You got to gauge it. He said, if we sacrifice now, we will get even more later. In the future, in this place I cannot see, but it is indeed there. And what must be sacrificed? Small sacrifice may be sufficient in singular problems, like you said earlier. And so what they realize is that it would improve the future if through time, right? And so which would consequently take you to, well, what would be the largest, most effective, most pleasing of all possible sacrifices? What did he say? How good might the best possible future be if the most effective sacrifice could be made, man? And so, which goes into the story of ultimately into Jesus, right? The giving of one's own son. And though Jordan is looking at this metaphysically, though, like he's looking at this as like an idea of how humans, like before we started to communicate in the way we communicate now, we were communicating from a place of action, I think, versus a place of things. I think that's the way he's placed it in his book, Maps of Meaning. I could be wrong.
Gotcha.
But basically, they thought differently, and so they communicated themselves in a different way. There was something you said that I wanted to jump on, man. That was on to the same thing. Oh, Abel and Cain, right? Because now Abel and Cain, they were born into history, not into Eden. So now they came from a time that they knew nothing about paradise. Their parents did. It's like, we had it so good, but y'all.
But wait.
Y'all got to work.
Wait.
Y'all got to work.
Wait, no, hold on. But Adam's still looking at her side-eyed.
Right.
He's still looking at it. He's still every day, every Sunday.
Hey, Cain just like his dad, though. I think he picked up Adam's attribute because he hated on his brother, man. Like, I can't imagine one killing my brother. And I think we went over that. It's like, he killed his brother. Nigga, wait, slow down. Did you hear what he killed his brother? Why? Because he wasn't giving his best. Well, he was vegan. You know what I'm saying? He was giving the plant of fruit. I'm like, no. Let's talk about symbolically what giving the meat is, man. You had to go out there and catch it. You had to go catch them hogs and them chickens and whatever. People might say like, well, go catch you a chicken. See if you can kill it. Right? So Abel was giving of his best to God and sacrificing. Cain was like, I ain't giving my pigs, but pick some berries up. Hey, God, this is for you. And God like, no.
Yeah, the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting to watch those stories and how they communicate psychological meaning. And what is within us that we can see in those characters? What is it in the human psyche that we need to pay attention to? What is it that what is the worthy sacrifice? Right? I think so again, going back to it, what is the worthy sacrifice that needs to be that will probably take some work, but will also give you the greatest result later on. So
the sacrifice. What are you sacrificing? You know what I mean? Like, because you said that in a way, Trey, that I see like, I wish I could rewind and play that again, because that is what you are pursuing is the Wait, is it the sacrifice? What I'm saying is, okay, we're doing this as a man reader.
Yes. I think it is. Keep going though. Stay right there. Stay right there.
We're getting up. You text, hey, 6:45. Can we be done by 6:45 in the morning? I was like, man, and I didn't have my workout yet. But I was like, am I gonna not work out and then just do it? I was like, nah, let me still get the workout in. I get the workout in so I can still do this. So in the future, we have this episode air. Even further in the future, it's like we're on whatever show it is. Like because we were doing the work the whole time, sacrificing the entire time.
So the way I look at it, so let's run it some more. So what I was like, oh, don't forget. So this morning we made a decision.
We sure did.
We made a decision. And so I think you know where I'm going. So don't forget the root of decision means to cut.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see if you're going to make, I got a connection that's going to, but let's see where you're going with it. It is to cut.
Everything that we say, make a decision to do, it means we are cutting off the other option. So everything we say yes, everything we say yes to, we cut off everything else. Everything we say no to, we're cutting off all the other pieces. It's almost like what were we watching, man? The Loki, when all the little lines of the different all the different timelines. We cut off a timeline when we make a decision. We cut off another timeline, we make another decision. And it's infinite timelines because we make infinite decisions. Right. Something to think about. Those other timelines have been sacrificed.
Okay.
Everything that we've said no to have been sacrificed and will probably no longer intersect. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that we keep in mind. Every time we make a decision, we're cutting. Mm-hmm. Every time we make a decision, we're in a soft, not in the crazy, not in the old, like you got to cut and shed blood, but you are sacrificing in that sense. And I think that's something to keep in mind. What are you cutting off, and what are you also cutting on? So that's what I had, and I pulled that.
No, well, this is a great segue to Rule 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Because what cut is? Jesus said again, not even being religious, but Jesus said, "I came not to bring peace, but to bring a sword." The word.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We synchronistic right now. I was like, we going straight to Rule 8. And so in the word, it's like, well, what's the point? Because I'm so big on telling the truth now. I remember back in the day, I could get away with lying. I'm talking about as a kid. We'd be over my big mama house. And so she used to have these Pepsis. I mean, it's all said and done now. She used to have these Pepsis in the fridge. And my cousin Quint, what's up, Quint? He probably ain't gonna watch this, but he came up with this brilliant plan. You get a knife, you get a sharp knife, and at the top of the Pepsi can, you put a little hole in it and you shake it up, and some of the Pepsi would come out. And so we would drink these big Pepsis, and you take a little bit at a time, but nobody would know. But our whole mouth had been getting the Pepsis out for years. We did this from I was 4 years old to about whenever Big Mama passed, and then nobody ever figured out we was doing it. And if they did, they didn't say nothing. But we seen that line about it. Is what I'm saying. Which in turn,
this is an amazing story. By the way, this is the level of like espionage the level of like deceit that you had to but what?
Man.
For some not even, first of all, you from Atlanta and you talk about Pepsi. I'm really upset about that too. She talk about it. But it's just really interesting that you really, was Pepsi that good back then?
Well, Big Mama didn't like, I guess she didn't like Coke. I don't know. That would be a good question. Because we was a Pepsi household.
Wow.
Yeah, with Sweet and Low and all that type of stuff. She had the Sweet and Low for the diabetes and stuff. But what I'm saying there is that there was a level of deceit, a level of manipulation, a level of lying. And I think you kind of get what comes back around. I have kids. Well, I have a daughter now. I'm not saying that's what she does. I think she's relatively tame compared to what I was.
Check the kitchen.
Well, I know
check the kitchen.
Because she got cavities and I ain't have cavities. I'm like, where are you getting cavities from? Tell the truth.
She may have resealed the gummy bears. Got to take the iron and reseal the plastic. You never know what people are doing out here nowadays. If you doing it, some of that may be in her too.
Right. Man. You know what? He makes a good case of why you should lie. Like why you can lie, why you can manipulate, why you can be politically correct.
Yep.
He makes good cases for why people do these things. But again, like I said, he sets it up to tell you why you probably shouldn't, and what happens when you begin to lie, how you cannot differentiate what the truth is. Oh, he sets it up. What to do when you don't know what to do. Tell the truth. When you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, just tell the truth. But most people, well, I would think don't, because they're looking at societal factors. They're looking at the corrupt policies and systems, and they don't know how to maneuver through it.
Yeah.
But the truth will set you free.
I'd rather even tell people, I think when we're working with clients or like when we're doing trainings and stuff, you know, it's like, if you don't know.
If you scared, say you scared. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't know, it's okay. One of the things about like working with adults a lot and professionals, as you know, it's kind of like they want to be right so much rather that it doesn't, like, because you teach. So you know, when you're teaching acting, right? And I think how many of them, and when you start thinking about it, they want to be, because especially if they've been experiencing it for a while, that they want to be right. And they don't want to, which means they want to be right more than they actually want to learn, which is actually in conflict with this, you know. So it's getting us into a place where we have to remember that if we want to learn, then we have to give up the idea that we want to be right at that moment, because we're probably not. But
sacrifice. They work. These two rules work in tandem. You have to be willing to be the fool. You have to sacrifice. Well, that's my statement. You got to be the fool.
That's right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be okay with being ignorant. At some point, you also don't. I mean, at that point, but then you also, because you have to, every step into a new knowing is from a place of unknowing, right? It's from a place of ignorance. And we act like, I mean, it's not like complete ignorance. It's just you didn't know what the next step. When I leave this hotel today, I don't know, but I'll know when I get to my destination what it beholds. So it's something interesting to pay attention to.
Well, that takes us to the story of Osiris in here, right? He talks about the old father god that represents hierarchy and tradition in Egypt, who was Osiris. And so over time, his kingdom begins to decay because of a willing blindness to the thing that is going on. It's just over time, things change. And some people, they don't want to acknowledge this change. And going to what Trey was saying, they don't want to acknowledge when they don't know something, right? So Osiris has a brother Set who's scheming, malevolence type energy, and while his brother's slipping, boom, here we go again, another brother story. Cut him up, wow, into pieces, and then distributes those pieces all throughout the kingdom. All right, so now, like, what's going on? So his son Horus, the son of Osiris, Horus, also known as like the Falcon God, the all-seeing eye, because he very astute at watching these things. He avenges his
Horus or Heru, depending on where you learned it from.
Okay, and so now he goes to avenge his father, right? And so during his battle with his uncle Set takes his eyeball, just takes it. So Horus then, before he defeats Set, right? Takes his eye back, and then guess what he does? Voluntarily takes the cold shower. And what I mean by that is he voluntarily goes to save his father in the underworld and takes his eye with him. And then when he saves his father, gives him the eye. And so now it's like, what does that mean? There's just people in the past. They don't know what they're talking about. That story just lasted thousands of years because it's stupid. It means something. Like, that's where I'm at now, man. It's going back to, like, what does that mean? And so Jordan believes that means is that the son who represents, I don't want to say it wrong. I want to say culture. He represents culture and how you have to marry culture to tradition. Like, you have to marry the new with the old. That's what that is. So, and we didn't even talk about Isis, but for the story that he brings in Osiris and Horus, that father-son combination, what does that represent? So,
Bro, it's so many quotes in this piece because we didn't even get. We couldn't even get to. So this is where I got the heavy highlights all over the place here.
Oh man, what?
Toward the end, this is actually one of the larger chapters too. I remember.
Yep.
Yep. It kind of like right toward the second half. So, oh man, let me see what I want to listen.
As you're doing that, I just want to make a quote. He said on page 223, you should never sacrifice what you could be for what you are.
Maslow says, what one can be, one ought to be, or one should be.
Yes.
Carlos from 85, from the 85 South show.
Okay.
He said something that's like, I was like, has he been reading these books?
Okay.
Yeah, he reading the books.
Yeah.
But basically he talks about don't allow the who you are right now to inhibit who you are trying to become.
Oh, that's good for Carlos too, because I know he taught the 19 keys. And anyway, but yes, that's good. He said, okay, so culture is always near a near dead state, right? It's always near dead. So you have to continue to learn, because he was saying that a totalitarianism is all about, everything that there is to know, and this is what it is. And so you cannot grow. And that's when things begin to die. Things fall apart. Now, I said things fall apart because why shouldn't you lie? Because things fall apart. The things you build will fall and break down. Truth
definitely, and your lie, the lie don't care who tell it, but the truth will always set. It will set those who need it free.
Yes, the truth is up. Amen, Rocky. Amen. To build your foundation,
the truth will always cut.
It does, and it will reveal what is real about it. And so that's what I'm starting to notice too, as well, in real life, is that I'd say the truth. Like we can go back a couple episodes, and I was saying a situation about I was supposed to meet some gentlemen at a particular time and place.
Oh, and yeah.
And guess what? It could turn into and they didn't meet me there. And that's what I'm saying is that didn't happen, right? Someone told me, well, it was a miscommunication. No. Everybody knew it was communication, and
it was.
No one showed, and what I'm saying is that's okay. There's no beef. It's no blame. It's an observation. It's an acknowledgement, and so that's the truth. I'm not going past that, because once you go past that, then so, well, you could have did this and you should have. No. It's just, had you texted me this morning and I did not respond, the truth would have been what it was, is what I'm saying. It's just like, well, you didn't respond. I guess either we can't meet or that's where we at.
It's gonna be a short moment.
Right.
Like, hey, listen, this is a great book. All right. Closing it out.
Right. And that's the truth. There's no reason we should hold on, even though that's kind of what I'm doing by, I guess, even saying the story. But the idea behind that is to recognize that it can just be what that is. There is no blame or fault. It's just the sun came up.
You still get to put the meaning and the meaning and the emotion on it. Yes. So how meaningful you place it, or how meaningless you make it. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. How meaningful you make it, or how meaningless you make it. I think that's sometimes really up to us. We just don't think that is the case. Like, no, I'm supposed to be upset. I'm supposed to be sad. I'm supposed to be excited about this.
Right.
I'm supposed to, whatever but we get to, a lot of times, get to choose what meaning, which will tell us what emotion we're going to have.
I will argue with you and say that you I think you do create it. I think the majority, if not, I would almost say all. I haven't thought it through to.
What's the argument there? I agree with that.
Yeah, because if you put the meaning onto it, then I was in 4 or 5 years old, man, when somebody called me a nigger or something, and I ain't think nothing about it. And somebody said, no, they can't do that. They can't call you that. I was like, I don't even know what it means. It means this. And I did not care. I'm telling you, Trey, they had to convince me to care. And now it's hitting me at 40 something. I was like, I was already in the space of, you can't, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
They can say whatever they want. It don't bother me
Yeah.
until I gave it the meaning to bother me.
The word is powerful. The word is powerful. You got to get it together. Hey man,
Yes,
I wrote down a couple of things. I want to highlight these. It says, "See truth, tell truth. Truth will not come into the guise of opinions shared by others, as the truth is neither a collection of slogans nor an ideology."
Right.
He says, "Truth builds edifices that can stand 1,000 years." He
Mm.
says, "Truth feeds and clothes the poor and makes nations wealthy and safe. Truth produces the terrible complexity of a man to the simplicity of his word, so that he can become a partner rather than an enemy. Truth makes the past truly the past." That's good. That's a good word right there. This is a good highlight. "And makes make best use of the future's possibilities. Truth is the ultimate, inexhaustible natural resource. It is the light in the darkness." And then he says, to kind of close out this chapter, he says, "If your life is not what it could be, try telling the truth. If you cling desperately to an ideology, wallow in nihilism, try telling the truth. If you feel weak and rejected and desperate and confused, try telling the truth." Bruh.
That's
Hey, he
how
preached on this one. He preached on this.
he did. Because I don't think a lot of people do. And I think a lot of people, because they understand how the system works in different ways, like there are different systems and different categories in this world. And a lot of it, were to just say this, just tell them you're doing it, get your disability, get this, get that. You know?
Right.
And it works, you know, but
Yep.
to what end? To what end? Is because it's expedient, you take advantage of it. And then, but what did that mean in the long run? I have a friend of mine, he may watch this, I don't know. He on disability, I don't know, he get 4K a month. He ain't no wrong, you know. But
Hey,
however, I get that he's playing a part of this system, that it's there. So if because he's a vet too, because you know certain vets, they end up on the street and homeless. And,
I get you. Yep.
So there is that conflict of interest there. However, if we do attend to the truth, my life has totally shifted in ways I can't even explain, because I've just been honest. Like a child would just say it. Like, why is she so fat? You can't say that. Man, I saw a friend of mine on Facebook the other day. I said, what happened to what? So I don't know now. And I know this is probably not the best way to end it. But when you see somebody that you ain't seen in a while and they look horrible, do you acknowledge the horribleness? Or do you act like you, because normally I see somebody I ain't seen in a while, I'm excited. So I'm like, oh man, you look good. Oh no, I don't say, oh man, it's been a minute. Yes. I'm glad to see you.
The rule is,
okay,
tell the truth or at least don't lie. So, you know, my rule is, you know, I acknowledge what's happening. Yes. I acknowledge the moment. I don't necessarily give. So my practice is try to make sure that we give careful critiques and accurate affirmations, right? So when I come see a show from you, if I go see your show, I told you, hey, that was not bad. That was pretty damn good, right? You did a pretty good, like I was pulled in. Now, right. And at the same time, I will give the careful critique of like some other things that could have been improved.
Right.
All wrapped in the one.
Got it.
What I also try to do is make sure that we're not in the space of like, hey man, you killing it, right? That can mean a lot of different things.
That could.
You've heard me say this. We've talked about this. I'll sometimes if I didn't like it, I'm like, hey man, you did your thing, right? I'll stay right there. Hey, you did your thing. Way to show up. Way to show up fully, right?
Right.
You know, like somebody didn't win. I'm like, I'm not going to, I think it's a backhanded compliment to be like, hey man, you know, so like my son did, I was like, hey, you know, you tried your hardest. Okay. Right. That's, I mean, it's telling the truth.
Right.
But you lost terribly. I don't know what you were doing on the third turn. I don't know what you were doing in that race. So I think I try to, that's what I think I try to do, man. I think we can do that. We can acknowledge the moment, because especially let's say if somebody's like really amped up in the moment right now and they just finished something that was exciting.
Right.
I'm not giving them the critique at that moment.
Yeah, no.
I want to stay right there with them, right?
Right.
High five and let them go. And then we're gonna go into the film room and we look back at the last season and be like, hey, look, okay, this is ways we can improve. That's the way I look at it.
Well, and my dad, this is for my dad if he ever listens, and my homeboy Carl, you know Carl. Carl came back in town. I don't know when he came, but he came, and he came to my house, and my dad saw him. He's like, boy, you done got beat. And Carl couldn't do nothing but laugh. Carl was like, well, yes, Mr. Goolsby, I have.
Wait a minute, man. I haven't seen Carl, but Carl wasn't big. He was definitely not big at all. Well, that's funny. Yo. What's up, Carl?
20 years, my friend. Anyway,
oh man,
we love you, dog.
Yeah, bro. Hey man, this is Trey D.
And Goolsby.
We are reading Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I'm glad you all have joined us for this episode. Hopefully you continue to read with us. Leave us a comment and
tell the truth.
We will continue to tell the truth about what you thought about this episode, or at least don't lie about it.
Right.
All right. Y'all be well. Keep on reading.
Yellow.